picture in the Epstein files, Michael Jackson was innocent. This is actually some dirty work. It was his own damn kid, so why are they making it seem like he was part of the Epstein files and they had to redact these children who were maybe allegedly victims?
I knew Michael was surrounded by people that positioned themselves in his life, positioned themselves to control and take advantage of him.
I was his rabbi for 2 years. She said that I killed him, that she would say the Jews killed Michael Jackson.
And so the conspiracy really is a conspiracy, in my opinion, between the media and the DA to make Michael Jackson appear to be the guiltiest person on the planet.
If you're a Michael Jackson fan, you've got every reason to be heated right now because they're still trying to drag MJ's name to distract from their own Epstein mess. But this time, MJ's sister Latoya is not holding back, and she's exposing all the shady people who tried to control Michael while he was alive and who are still throwing dirt on his name after all these years.
That Michael constantly told me, Latoya, if I die, they're gonna murder me, they're gonna kill me.
So here's what set everybody off. The latest Epstein leaks included a photo of Michael, and people immediately tried to spin it into something incriminating. But that narrative fell apart real quick when fans found the real photo that the government redacted for no reason. And let's not act like this wasn't intentional. They wanted to incriminate MJ, thinking it would steal the headlines and distract from the massive Epstein cover-up that this administration, and every previous one since the 90s, has been involved in. Michael was introduced to Epstein once in a business context while looking at property, and there's zero evidence that he ever spent time at Epstein's home or on his island. So why are they still so desperate to ruin his reputation after all these years? Well, Latoya is alleging that the same powerful industry figures that Michael publicly called out years ago never forgave him, and they're still trying to control the narrative, even after his death.
I really believe it's a conspiracy because the story always ends the same. It's not an accident. It's happened on purpose.
All right, so in case you missed it, here's how they just tried to frame MJ once again and pull him into the whole Epstein mess. As part of the ongoing Epstein files release, Trump's DOJ decided to drop a random photo of Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, and their kids with Bill Clinton at an event in DC. But get this, they redacted the kids' faces so that it would appear they were victims of Epstein. Now, if you go on Getty Images and search for photos of this event, you will easily find this exact same picture. And if you check the caption, it says, singer-songwriter Michael Jackson, his children, Michael Joseph Jackson, Jr. and Paris Michael Catherine Jackson are photographed with President Bill Clinton, Diana Ross, and her son Evan Ross in Washington, D.C. on December 19, 2003. But they didn't stop there. They also released this photo supposedly showing MJ posing with Epstein, but it turns out this photo was digitally altered. And if you zoom in on Epstein's face, you can see this is clearly AI. Now here's the real context of how MJ met Epstein. Michael was house hunting in Palm Beach, Florida, and Epstein owned property there, so Michael was shown Epstein's house while exploring real estate options. And that was the extent of it. There was no personal association, and Michael didn't even end up buying a house there. As for that video that's been circulating, supposedly showing MJ partying with Epstein, well, turns out that wasn't a party, it was the Palm Beach Film Festival.
The controversial singer was spotted at the Palm Beach International Film Festival. Reportedly, he's house hunting there, and reviews from residents are mixed.
So instead of exposing the real perpetrators and the people who financed Epstein's blackmail operation, they're out here still trying to frame Michael Jackson with fake evidence. Well, if you ask Latoya Jackson, this isn't a coincidence. After all the mainstream media outlets reported that a photo of Michael was found in Epstein's files, Latoya clapped back saying she's absolutely disgusted that after all these years, the same people who controlled Michael, exploited him, and stole from him are still trying to drag his name through the mud. According to Latoya, this latest attempt to tie MJ to Epstein isn't about truth at all. It's about distraction and revenge. She said certain people are so desperate to protect themselves and their own Epstein connections, so they keep using Michael as a distraction. And then Latoya also added that these people still hold a grudge against Michael because he publicly called out their sneaky ways.
He does not tell the truth. He's a liar. He'll incriminate out and incriminate by history books. You need to know that.
You must know that.
And what makes this hit so hard for Latoya isn't just that Michael was her brother, it's that she almost lost her life for refusing to turn against him. And this part of her story rarely gets covered in mainstream media. People have tried to paint Latoya as crazy over the years, but what they don't tell you is the truth about her manager and ex-husband, Jack Gordon. Gordon horribly mistreated Latoya for years, both mentally and physically, controlled her every move, and even threatened that he would kill her and her siblings.
Someone instills fear into you. And you're afraid of them, and they're controlling you at the same time, and they promise you they're going to kill you if you try to get away or do something, and they're keeping you watch eye there, and they have the security that they hired with your money, of course. And they're watching over you, and when they do that, you're just afraid, and you're afraid to make moves. So this went on for many, many, many years.
He literally said, I'm going to kill you, your brother, everybody.
Yes. No, not everybody. Just myself.
And Michael.
Michael and Jan. And I believed him. I believed him because of things that I had seen from being with him. I believed him of things that he has been saying to other people.
But wait till you hear how Jack Gordon tried to use Latoya to frame Michael. It makes you wonder if he was planted in her life to do just that. So in December 1993, Gordon forced Latoya to travel to Tel Aviv and appear at a press conference where, under threat and wearing dark sunglasses to hide the bruises, she read a statement saying she believed Michael was guilty.
I must tell you that this is very difficult for me, that Michael is my brother. I love him a great deal, but I cannot and I will not be a silent collaborator of his crimes against small, innocent children.
Latoya feared for her life, so she had no choice but to read the statement. However, once she finally escaped Gordon's control, she spoke out and set the record straight, making it clear that she never once believed Michael was guilty. Latoya also later wrote about that incident in her memoir and revealed that Gordon wrote that whole statement she was forced to read in Tel Aviv. Latoya said she didn't even understand why they were traveling there, and she thought to herself, "This is strange. Out of all the places, why are we going to Israel?" However, she was too scared to confront Gordon, and once they arrived over there, Gordon handed her a piece of paper and forced her to read it in front of the press. And this is exactly what Latoya lost it when she saw how they tried to once again frame MJ with that Epstein leak. See? None of this is a coincidence. After Latoya divorced Jack Gordon, she started connecting the dots between her own experience and Michael's very public war with Sony and powerful music executives, where he openly accused them of trying to control him and stealing from him.
So I'm leaving Sony a free agent of owning half of Sony. I own half of Sony's publishing and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it, but I just did good business, you know. The way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album. And Tommy Mottola is a devil.
And Michael wasn't just fighting for himself. He was exposing the whole system and the people who are pulling the strings behind the scenes, and that made him dangerous. And to Latoya, the horrors she endured in her marriage to Jack Gordon, the smear campaigns, the attempts to frame Michael, it all felt like pieces of the same puzzle. And that's why Latoya still believes Michael didn't just die, but was silenced. And according to Latoya, Michael himself knew his life was in danger because he spoke on certain things that are off limits in the entertainment industry.
I knew Michael was surrounded by people that positioned themselves in his life, positioned themselves to control and take advantage of him. And that's what bothered me more than anything else, because I knew something terrible would happen at the end, not to mention the fact that Michael constantly told me, "Latoya, if I die, they're gonna murder me, they're gonna kill me." He would tell me that, Barbara. When I found out he had actually passed, I said, "No, it wasn't an accident. He was murdered."
Your brother was murdered.
I always believed that from day one, when I found out that he was no longer with us. I said, "I'm not going to accept anything else, Barbara." They could have told me a heart attack. They could have told me he had fallen off a ladder, and I would have said, "No, it's not a heart attack. He was murdered." Did he fall off a ladder? No, he was murdered.
Who murdered your brother?
I don't know exactly who. I think there are more players involved than we know. This is just my opinion. This is what I feel. I know what Michael was afraid of. I know that when you're in a position...
What was he afraid of?
He was afraid of his life. He would say, I'm afraid of my life. I'm afraid they're going to assassinate me. I'm afraid they're going to kill me. He would always say that, Barbara.
And this is what makes this whole situation with MJ and Epstein files not just infuriating, but deeply ironic. When you start connecting the dots, it looks like the people who are still trying to frame Michael are the ones who worked for the same side as Epstein did. And the way Latoya sees it, framing Michael is convenient because it keeps the spotlight off the people who were part of the same circle as Epstein.